trying to bring out the best version of myself daily. I feel like oftentimes it's easy to look ahead to a long season that you have, or a long camp that you have, or whatever season of the year you're in, and look too far ahead. And I think I kind of just took the mindset of just approaching each day as an individual itself, and winning that day. And over time, you get further ahead. You look back over time and you say, wow, I've really built something. So I think it's been a process of that. I don't think I'm doing anything crazy spectacular. I think I've just shown up every day and I've been consistent and I've just shown the best version of myself.
I know nothing is certain, but it sounds like you're going to have a pretty big role to enter the year. Just what do you feel like your role is going to be entering?
Whatever the team has for me. I mean, I don't like I kind of said. It's very easy to start looking ahead and what expectations of the year. I'm where my feet are at. I think I'm same way I showed up today. I'll be here tomorrow, and I'm here to give everything that I have, and that's just what it is. It's whatever happens in the season is going to happen in the season. I put my faith in the Lord, and everything else will take care of itself.
You use that same phrase, the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have a better concept now at this stage?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's probably different than what any other tight end might be, right?
Yeah. I would say the best version of myself. I think I've gotten to this point. It's a kind of a funny saying because you're never quite there. It's like I'm assuming in a month from now I'll be even a better version of myself. I think it's been a concept of getting my mind, body, and soul all becoming one. I think it's easy when you're an athlete you want to become in the best physical shape possible, or even learning these plays. You want to become in the best mental shape possible. So you come in here every day and you pound it out. And I think one thing that changed for me that was huge is just really taking a big step in my faith. And I think all three kind of came together and became one. And I kind of felt, they were all congruent. My mind, body, and soul truly did become one. And I feel like I feel great. I feel great. But like I said, it's a funny saying, being the best version of yourself, because the plan being is, weeks from now, hopefully I'll be a better version of myself than I am now.
Elaborate on that a little bit. How does your faith, your soul make you better on football?
I would say having an understanding, because when you approach this game, there's many hardships that you're gonna kind of go through. There's difficulties. I'm assuming same with your day job. I'm sure there's times you come in there and things can be frustrating. I'd say when your soul is in alignment with, when you're in alignment with your soul and yourself, I think you just have a better understanding when those hard days come, and you kind of just have a better understanding that, I'm going through this, and I understand it's for a bigger purpose. And sometimes when you're in it, it might feel like you're dying, and I'm like, man, I can't do this, or that's where kind of the thoughts of quitting, come in. And I think I really just, let into my faith a lot more, and I just think that just gave me the confidence and understanding that everything is happening for a reason. This bad day is not happening just because it's a bad day. It's intentional. It's intentional for a better tomorrow, and it won't rain forever.
Not to read too much into things, but it sounds like you've had some bad days where you needed that faith.
Absolutely.
Was there a specific day or something that happened that really kind of got you into that mindset of, I need to get my faith right, I need to have this all aligned to be my best self?
I don't think there was one specific event that had taken place. I think it's just the normal human experience. I think it's something that we all kind of go through. I don't think it was one thing that necessarily stuck out. I think we can go around the room and we can all share our problems, and I'm sure we all have our fair share. And so I think that's just kind of what it's been. And I think being rooted in a strong foundation and something firm, because I believe at one point in my life my foundation was built in sports, and that's kind of who I was as a person. And so when you take that out, and I'm no longer the football player that I was built in, I'm left with no foundation. And so I'm wishy-washy, and I don't know who I am. But this time around, I've built in my faith in something that's eternal and that's never changing. And football is just a fruit of that. And so, yeah. Yeah, man, it's great. It's great, man. He shows up. He's another guy that shows up day in and day out and does his job. He does what he's supposed to do. And I think that's really what it's about at the end of the day. Is fancy one-hand catches are great. Don't get me wrong, but being here over years, one thing I've learned is we want the guy that's going to show up day in and day out, kind of like I was explaining earlier, and putting your best foot forward and being the best version of yourself. And I think one thing that he does is he does a good example of that as well. And so it's been great.
Right now, when there's so many
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it kind of all goes back to what you want. Um, I think if what you want is to be glamorized in media, and I want to be this this amazing public figure, then I think you might take the approach of doing flashier things. I might wear cooler things to practice. No knock against that. To people that do, I think that's some people's natural style. I think, but if that's something that you prioritize, then that's things that you would do. But I think, in contrast to that, if your goal is to genuinely be successful at the thing you do and you're not really worried about too much outside noise, and I genuinely want to be successful at the thing that I do, I think the flashy stuff becomes less important, and I think that's kind of a role that he embraces, and I think that's really good.
What do you think about the fact that schools running Big Ten next
Man, it's great. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's just going to be another team on their schedule. So I'm going to prepare the same way, either regardless of who we're playing. I think we're prepared the same way and give my best fight.
Is that kind of like, did you expect that when you first came here, that there would be a future where athletes would be playing a bunch of West Coast teams in conference games?
No, it's crazy. No, it's wild because those are the teams, growing up those were just like home-based teams. I'm not sure where you're from, but like where I grew up, it was Washington, it was USC, it was UCLA. Like those were the big-time schools, and so it is kind of cool having them come out here playing them, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we're supposed to go to Washington next year, right, at home. So I think when I committed, I was looking forward to that game, even back then. But since they're here, I guess that's good as well.
You get the extra year, right? You have 2 years left.
Yeah.
Including this one?
Yeah, I have 2 years left, including this one. Yep.
You talked about being grounded.
Yeah.
So is there anything this summer that you worked on physically that you're now seeing that hard work pay off?
Like I said a little bit, they all become one, and so the same way that I've strengthened my mind, and I've strengthened my mind as far as understanding this playbook and understanding the things that I do. The same way I've strengthened my faith by constantly being rooted in this faith, I've also strengthened my body in the same way, just showing up day in and day out. And the goal is to have them all, like I keep saying, to have them be one. And when I say that, I mean, I don't mean to have, because I think an issue that it's easy to have is have my physical, being like my strength to be up here, and my mind. Maybe I'm really, really smart, and maybe I just really lack, I lack my spiritual nature. And I think this offseason has been just a great, strive for me to, maybe I was really physically this, and maybe I was pretty mentally smart, and it's just kind of have them all being one. And so I think physically they all kind of go hand in hand. I think I didn't do anything special. I showed up every day and I worked my butt off, and that's what I'm going to do moving forward.
So do you feel different this year?
Absolutely. I think this is my, I think just all around, this is the best I've felt, going into a camp, going into a season, and I feel amazing. My heart feels good, my body feels good, my mind feels good, and I'm ready to roll.
How important a part of that formula was graduating, and what is that?
Graduating is cool. I think it would have felt a little bit better if I was graduating and actually being done with school. I think considering that I'm going to actually stay here and I'm going to continue with school, I think that kind of takes some of the, the excitement off of it. But it's pretty cool. It's a cool achievement. No one can ever take that away from me, regardless of what happens. I am an Ohio State graduate, and I'm, proud to say it.
In terms of the on-field development, is it more difficult to develop as a basketball group or softball?
I would say they go hand in hand. I would say it's a lot of hand-to-hand combat down there, and I think they're both challenging. I mean, the tight end position is just, it's so complex, and I think it's so much more complex than people actually realize. The amount of jobs that you do, how much emphasis we put on route running, but also in the run game, and then also, like you said, pass blocking. It's hard. There's a lot of jobs to do, and I think my job is just to become a more better and complete tight end, as time goes, and so that's what I've been doing. Anything else? Yep. Thank you. All right. Have a good one, else.